confusion, no confusion. But he said, she said, clearing up the drama with Wanda.
Hey, it is time for He Said, She Said. We're going to be talking about vasectomies. Yes, that's what I said. Getting it snipped. So a lot of times, you talk to men and they're very self-conscious about this. They don't necessarily want to talk about this topic. So the person I have on today does not want to be recognized. He has been snipped, but he wants to remain anonymous to the world. So if you meet him, you won't know whether he's been snipped or not. You won't know who he is. And I welcome today my mystery guest.
Good evening.
LD, you know I'm going to have to ask, what does LD stand for?
Well, before the snip, I was called BD.
To assume something was big and after the snip, now it's little.
That's what they say. I don't agree. That's what they say.
You don't agree?
That's what they say.
So how was it? What made you come to the decision that getting big BD, which one is it? The big BD snipped was the right thing for you?
Well, at the time I was dating someone. But it's a whole bunch of stuff on the table, but I do recognize the knife and the scissors.
Ooh.
I'm thinking to myself, what the hell?
Did you think about leaving at that moment?
Okay, of course it is. So anyway, so I laid there. Took about an hour, maybe. The doctor shows up, right? And so he shows up and he sits down next to me and he puts his gloves on. Right. So the burly nurse is strategically placed right behind me.
He's like, I don't want anything coming up while I'm here.
No, she's right behind my head, right?
I wonder.
Okay, because what happened was once he sits down and begin to, grab his tools, at that point I said I changed my mind.
We got a runner.
Right. I said I changed my mind. And so at that point, that's when she grabbed me. She grabbed me and she held me down. Honestly, I'm not making this up. This is a true story.
You had to be held down.
Actually, man, she said, no, she said, you're here now. She said, let's get over it. So obviously they've been through that before. So she's big, strong. She's strong, a lot stronger than me. So she's holding me down.
Strong like bull.
Right. She's holding me strong like bull. Exactly. So she's holding me down, right? She's holding me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, you know what? Can we just reschedule? And she's like, no, we're going to just go ahead and get this over with. And they said we have to deaden the skin, right? Deaden it down there, right?
Where does that go?
You have to deaden the groin area, right? So I say, well, what do you have? What you gonna put out there? So I won't feel the pain. Are you thinking that's a ridge in my balls? I mean,
that's where it was going in your balls.
You have to have a cream or something.
Can I get some cream so I don't feel it?
Put some cream on there or something, so before you shoot it.
I'm surprised they didn't cover your mouth.
You know what I'm saying? So you gonna put the syringe. I mean, to stop the pain? What about the pain from the syringe? So anyway, so he went down, took the syringe, and he started stabbing me.
Stabbing you? You're being
you know what?
Unreasonably
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
You weren't being stabbed.
Hey, it felt like I was being stabbed. So he stabbed me about 5 times.
You had to be stuck that many times.
Yes. So I'm thinking it's gonna be just one stab.
Yeah, I thought one time. They don't do multiple.
No.
Shots.
Yes. He stabbed me about 5 times down
He stabbed you
about 5 times with the syringe, right? So after he stabbed me, I'm like, I can't breathe. And she's like saying, just you'll be okay. Just remain still. You'll be okay. I'm like, ma'am, I can't breathe. She's like, you'll be okay. You'll be, because she's literally holding me. She's holding me in a position where I really, really can't move.
But you could breathe.
I couldn't breathe. So anyway, so he's holding my ball. And he, like I said, he finished stabbing it.
Oh, he was stabbing one ball?
Right.
Oh.
So he's stabbing the ball. So then after he finished stabbing, he waited for about a minute. Then he started cutting.
You were awake for this procedure?
I was awake for this procedure. So once he
cut, you saw.
I didn't see it because she's got me. She won't let me look down. She's back there. She's holding me. She's one big burly lady, strong like bull, and she's got like 4 arms. I don't know how she's holding me down like this, yo. I can't explain it. right? Because I can't. She's making me look up, and she's holding me down at the same time. She won't let me look down. So anyway, so he cuts my ball open,
Ah,
and it's like I just feel like all the air in the room just go inside my body, and you can just feel this cold wind go inside of you. Because think about it, the inside of your body is not used to being exposed to air, so I could feel the cold air, the cold wind coming inside of my body. So anyway, so he cuts down there, then he goes down with some scissors and he snips, and then he begins to sew it up, and you could feel the pulling because it was numb, but you could feel him pulling when he was sewing. He was pulling
pulling inside
with
of
the
your
thread. No, because
your
he had cut it with some scissors. He had cut something with some scissors.
inside of your balls. He'll
Right, he
cut
had
it
cut
with
it.
scissors, and
Then
now
he
he is
grabbed it.
sewing it back up,
Now
and
he's
you
sewing
can
it up,
feel
and
it.
I could feel the pulling. And I'm like, this is like the most
And
pain.
she's holding you
And
down
she's
because
holding me
you're ready
down,
to
and
run.
I'm ready to leave. And she's holding me down. I'm like, I'm suffering. Right, laying there suffering. So if it only took him a good, I said 3 or 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes of suffering. So then he finishes and I lay back. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I'm just like in this
What,
pain.
were you in pain
Oh
already?
my god, I was in so
I
much pain.
thought you were supposed to be
No,
numb.
I was in pain. I was in pain. Plus, it's psychological also that damages you. Like I'm still psychologically damaged. And when I think about it right now, I feel the pain in my groin. Right now,
You
to
can
this day.
feel the
And
pain.
I had the surgery about 10 years ago, but I can still feel the pain in my groin when I think about it. Anyway, so after he finishes, I'm just relieved and I'm like, thank God this is over with. Oh, it's like I've never experienced anything like this before in my life. I mean, it's just painful.
Did it feel
I
like
mean,
being kicked in the
it
groin?
by 5 different people, 5 separate times. Yes. So anyway, so I'm thinking about so anyway, so I'm trying to breathe now. So I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying to. So while I'm trying to breathe, he had one of them stools with wheels on it, right? So he goes around to the other side and takes the tools to the other side, right? I said, well, what you doing? What you doing? He's like, you have two groins, don't you? You have two, don't you? I said, okay.
They had to do it in both.
Yes. He said, I have to do the other side. I was like, what? He said, I got to do the other side. I'm like, you got to do the other side.
I
So
didn't
no,
know
no.
that.
So
No,
no.
let me go. You fighting with
Oh, my
strong like
lady,
bull
I
woman.
told him, I said, listen, I'll come back. I'll come back. He's like, no, because you get that. I said, listen, man,
I promise I'll come back for
I
the other
promise,
ball.
man. I promise,
You're about
man.
to cry talking about
Because
it.
it's,
Do you need a tissue? Are you okay?
I do, because it's
Do you think
painful.
you'll make it through this interview?
I don't know. So anyway, so I'm crying, right? And I'm like,
You
listen,
cry
man. I'm
now.
like, listen. I come back. I promise you, I'll come back tomorrow.
For
No.
all our listeners out
He's
there
like,
who
no.
can't see BDLD,
I got
he
tears
has
of.
tears in his eyes.
He said, listen. He said, no. He said, we're halfway there. He said, let's just get this done. I said, wait. I said, no. I said, I will come back. I'll come back, man. I said, I can't do this right now. I can't do this right now. No. I'll come back. So he said, no. So anyway, so the lady right there, I'm sure she's done this before, with her forearms, she's holding me down and got my head looking up straight. And he grabs my ball. You gotta understand something. I'm naked down there. So I have no protection.
And you
Right?
have her holding
And
you
she's holding
down.
me down. So he grabs my ball and I'm like, no.
And he can
Right?
easily squeeze
I
to
felt
make
like I
you
was being
think.
tortured, right? So he started stabbing my ball again. So he's stabbing the other side. Like, what the hell you doing, man? No.
Ah,
So you start stabbing that ball. So you stabbed my ball about 5 times on the other side.
this was supposed to be an interview that would help men feel more comfortable having this procedure
Ain't nothing
done.
comfortable about this. Ain't nothing comfortable about the procedure or the conversation. So anyway, so he started stabbing the mother ball about 5 times.
Okay.
So then he cuts and he begins to sew, right?
Ah,
And it was extremely painful. But there was one thing good about it.
what? You only
One
have two
thing.
balls?
No. The good
What?
thing about it was the left ball it was so painful that I completely forgot about the right ball. So that was the only good thing. That was the only good thing about it. So anyway, so after he stabbed me in the left ball 5 times, and he cut me up, snip, sewed me back up. Only took, like I said, about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So I'm laying there, and so I asked the burly nurse. She finally lets me. He gets up and he leaves. So the burly nurse, she finally releases me. Right. So I asked him, where's the recovery room? And she started laughing. She's like, ain't no
She opened the front door at your house.
I'm like, ain't no recovery room. I'm like, ain't no recovery room. Ain't no recovery room. It's gotta
Now,
be some.
do your
Yeah,
balls swell after being stabbed
yes. So I'm
independently?
like, you know what? I have to recover. She's like, no, there's no recovery room. There's no recovery room. She said, you can just get up and get your stuff and leave. I said, well, okay, okay,
Okay,
okay, fine.
can I have a cigarette?
I said, well, you have
Say
a
you love me.
no. I said, you have a wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
I go like, I get to my car. Do you have a wheelchair or something? She's like, no, no wheelchair, no wheelchair. I mean, are you serious, doc? You telling me no recovery room after this procedure, no wheelchair, no therapy, nobody, no counseling.
No therapy.
Just get out now. Come on now. You know how they made me feel? Just get out.
I'm
Right?
sure you've made
So
a
I
lot of
really had to
family.
leave. So she telling me get dressed and you got to get out.
You gotta go home, but you gotta get out of here.
So I put my clothes on. They tell you to bring 3 or 4 pair of tight underwear.
Really? So after this procedure, and
You're right. They want you to
you
wear.
have to keep them closed.
They want you to wear 3 or 4 pair of tight underwear
At one time?
together. After the procedure, this is what options.
Really?
They say you need to wear 3 or 4 pairs of tight underwear. You can't wear like the boxers. They want something tight, something to
And
hold you
multiple
in.
pairs to really
To
hold
hold
it.
you in. Anyway, so I got up, put on about 3 pair of drawers, put my pants on, could barely walk, and I walked to my car. It took me about, I would say, to get to get to my car to the parking lot took me about 2 hours. Right? It was,
You took a step every
it
20
it was
minutes.
actually right across. It was right across the street. It took me about 2 hours to get there. You can't walk. I mean, you can't walk normally after that. I was in a lot of pain, and you know what? I really
Two
was.
hours
You
to
know
get
what? I'm gonna tell
across
you
the
something.
street.
I've never men don't give birth. I've never given birth, of course, but I would say that had to be the closest feeling I think that I've had to giving birth would have to be that procedure.
Seeing you've never given birth, I'm going to assume that probably
No,
is
that
a
was. I
lot
think
not
that
as
was
bad.
no. That was. I think I'm gonna say probably not as bad as giving birth, but it was probably pretty close.
Okay.
So anyway, so I had to walk to my car. Like I said, took about 2 hours. I finally get there. You know, get in the car. I had to drive myself home, and I was just in agony. I was crying. You
No, I hate
know,
to see a grown man cry, but
it
it
was
really
it was
hurt you to that point.
it was a sad day. Sad day.
Sad
Sad day.
day. Do you need to take a moment? I have a tissue back
No,
there.
it was rough. I mean, I highly recommend that men
Wait,
nowadays
how do you
get.
say all that and then say you highly recommend it?
No, I highly recommend it because you know
Why?
what? Although it was painful. Although after 10 years I'm still going through, the
No, I
the
don't know. What are
experience.
you still going through?
I'm still going through the thing. I'm still having issues in my mind because I never had any therapy.
I don't think men who give vasectomies, and I don't want to lessen your ordeal, but I don't know how many actually need therapy after this procedure.
Well, I think I needed therapy. You know. So anyway, so I still having some issues. I still haven't received any counseling. But I still think it's something. But I really believe in my heart that it was the smartest thing that I've ever done in my life.
After all that, you still feel it's the smartest
Very,
thing.
very, 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 very smart.
That's because child support
Is a right, and no telling how
right.
many kids I would have by now.
How many think you have?
I don't know.
So did the woman that wanted children by you, but then you decided to get a vasectomy instead, did she break up with you now that you couldn't have
No,
children?
no, we stayed together for a while. We broke up, but it unrelated to that issue. But I felt safe knowing that I was not going to have a child by this woman, and actually by anybody else for that matter. So I
So
think
you do.
it was a very, very smart decision. I think that most young men out here, in my opinion, I don't want to say how young, but if you have 1 or 2 children, I think you need to snip.
What if
Don't
they?
put it don't put it all on the woman. So take responsibilities. Take responsibility.
I totally agree with you. If you know you don't want to pay child support, because
Right.
unfortunately in this day and age, we would like to think relationships last forever, and you don't have to, and you can be very amicable when it comes to the child, but child support does exist. And if you know for a fact that's not what you want to deal with, and you already
Right.
have a child or two,
And I can tell a young man I know that complain about child support. I tell him, I said, listen, man, you already have 3 kids by 3 different women. I said, man, get yourself fixed. It's not that bad. Okay, it is that
you
bad.
just made it sound
Okay, but
horrible.
get yourself
It's
fixed.
worse than childbirth.
Get yourself fixed.
I do think that you have actually made men not want to do it. I know that it was your goal to come here today on He Said She Said on IntellectualRadio.com
Yes.
and
To
really
inspire others.
inspire, but you now have inspired some men not to do it. That fear of that kind of pain and the way you described it, they're already holding their balls at home, and now you have really shocked them into.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not painful. I'm not gonna lie to you that. But I will tell you this right here. It's not for a long length of time. And for the amount of pain that you endure, those 5, 6 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever it is, it's well worth it.
So
And if
what
I
was
had a chance to do it all over again, I would do it all over again.
so what was recovery like for you? So after it took you 2 hours to get to your car, what was next?
Just out of underwear.
You went through a lot of underwear.
Right.
You had to continuously wear
Right.
3 to 4
For
pairs.
about I would say a week, because the feeling that you have is if your insides are gonna just drop out of you.
Ah,
You just have that feeling like the insides are gonna just drop out. You will just keep your legs closed. But after a while, it eventually goes away. But
how
I'm still, after 10 years, I'm still healing.
I do believe you're probably healed by now.
Well, I'm healing mentally.
Oh, you still need therapy.
Right.
You know what we're gonna do? What we do here at the He Said She Said, we're gonna find you some therapy.
I appreciate that.
I'm sure there's vasectomy therapy.
But again, like I said, for the men out here, don't put it all on the women. I highly recommend that. If you're
what if they get therapy
you have a
ahead
couple
of time?
kids, well, that's something that it should be optional also. But again, I highly, highly recommend get yourself fixed. Don't go out here having all these kids by all these different women. It just ain't cool. It's not a good look. Then plus also, man, we like cars and we like, nice things and we like having money in our pocket. And you having all these kids, that ain't gonna happen.
So again, how long do you think approximately it took you to recover?
I'm still recovering.
No, I mean to be able to walk again, not the mental recovery.
It's similar to like if you like alcoholic and you recovering alcoholic. I mean, it's like you always recovering.
You're not making this good for the vasectomy world. If it takes over 10 years to recover.
So although it's been 10, 11 years, earlier you see you brought tears in my eyes just discussing it. So even after 10, 11 years, I'm still recovering.
How many more children do you have since the surgery?
Of course, I haven't had any.
I'm just would like to prove to the
but I will say this
that
right
it
here.
works.
But I will say this right here. So far as sexual intercourse is concerned, there's absolutely no difference at all. You really, really can't tell. You still ejaculate. No, so you can't tell.
That part didn't change.
Nothing changed. I mean,
it wasn't coming from a new spot. It was coming out of this hole, not come out of.
Thing 100% the same. And even where he stabbed me,
it doesn't come out of that.
No
hole.
scars. Where I was stitched up, no scars. My hair is grown back.
Your hair
Afro.
Is
Pardon me?
Your hair is cute.
My hair is cute. What are you talking about?
You said your hair is grown.
Well, what I'm saying is that, I mean, you would never known, just from looking at me, that I've had the surgery.
I don't think, can you anyone until they've had a vasectomy?
Well, I think
other than being BD to LD?
If you got to look the next day, when I was
what
shaving.
What did it look like?
Okay, I was shaving the next day because I was shaving. They shaved me down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I had stitches.
You could see the stitches?
You could see the stitches. But one thing about the stitches is I never had to go back to get the stitches removed. But I wouldn't have went back anyway. But
you were never going back.
But the doctor said the stitches was going to actually.
Maybe you wouldn't have been as traumatized had you actually gone back and let them do everything and talk to you.
I wasn't going back for nothing. If they had to say, well, Mr. Winfrey, we have a check for $10 for you here to the clinic, vasectomy clinic, I wouldn't have went back. So anyway, the stitches, they fell out after about a week. My hair began to grow back, and I had no scars. And you could, after a month,
ice it.
After a month or two,
what kind of treatment for? What do you
do?
Actually,
I was told to ice it. But ice is cold. I don't like being cold, so I didn't do too much. I think I iced maybe once. Down there, put ice down there. That's a real sensitive area.
You probably prolonged your recovery by not following.
To have ice or heat or anything down there like that, this is a real sensitive area, right? So I think I did ice maybe once, and the ice thing just didn't work out for me. But I say after a month I healed, and sex has been normal, no difference whatsoever.
And it doesn't produce children anymore.
Not at all, and I'm very, very happy about that. So if someone comes to me and say, "Well, oh, I'm pregnant," I'm like, "Okay,
Okay.
okay, I can't wait to see that DNA."
how what percentage is it accurate after it's done? I know with birth control they say it's not 100%. Is that the same with the vasectomy?
Well, what they do is, I don't have any more live sperm, right? So since I have no more live sperm, because I can't have children. Actually, excuse me, they do have you come in for a checkup. They check the status of your sperm, to check the sperm count. And I did go back after about 6 months so they can check my sperm count. And they assured me that I would never have another child. And I was cool with that.
So it is 100%.
Well, I really can't say I'm not a doc. I can't give you a no scientific evidence, but I have not had any kids afterwards.
So even though this sounds like the most traumatic thing that's happened to you, saying you need therapy after 10 years of having this done, you would still recommend it to our listeners and viewers.
100%. I really recommend it, especially to all the young men out there who are having kids about 3 and 4 different women. Come on now. I mean, when is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop? I mean, just get yourself fixed. A lot of these cats out here, they don't want to use condoms. Then plus condoms, they break. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just go ahead and just get yourself fixed. And in most cases, they'll probably get it done for free because they want to stop having it. They want all over again. I would take the stabbing. I would take
Stabbing
I
to
would take
both
the stabbing. I would
balls,
take the cut,
the cutting
the
to both
sawing,
balls,
the big brother
the
woman shaving
pulling
me.
and
Yeah,
tugging,
I
the
would,
shaving of your
it
groin.
was a very it was very quick.
About 3 minutes, you said each ball.
Each about, oh man, don't make me cry, about 3 minutes each ball. Yes, it was a very procedure. Like I said, and there's a good chance if you get it done, there's a good chance you won't have to wait in any lines. I don't have to wait in any lines. So go ahead and get yourself fixed.
Well, that's good to know. We are here with LD, formerly BD, who is a recipient of a vasectomy, also known as snipping. He's been snipped and he wanted to encourage, enlighten, and inform us on the procedure. And I don't know, I have mixed verdicts. I'd like to hear from any man who's thinking about this because he scared me enough that you go, but he turned around and said he would do it. So I any questions, you can contact me. I'll get you in contact with BDLD and he will give you any suggestions, feedback, and we're going to help BDLD right now with some services to help him recover mentally from the snipping. You've been listening to, thank you, BDLD.
Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to the He Said, She Said show on IntellectualRadio.com.
Thank you.
Thank you, BD. No, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Oh,
Not yet.
not yet.
Run. Keep your identity hidden. Your hidden identity is